Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Today we're getting into the NBA playoffs, the play-ins, the first round action. It's going to be a wild one. Great matchups all across the board. I tell you what, boys, it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be interesting storylines. News. Oh my goodness, I'm salivating right now. But first and foremost, how you doing, Brother Bear?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here doing, my favorite thing to do, man, is podcast. Talk about sports.
Yeah, basketball.
And the best time of the year for NBA is the playoffs. Easy does it.
Pump it up.
And not only we get the playoffs, we get the play-in games as well, man. We'll touch on that. We're going to miss two of these matchups happening tonight. But we'll know the conclusion later today. Podcast will be out later tonight, early tomorrow. So we'll give our takes, we'll give our predictions, but, we'll know the results by when you're hearing this podcast. So take it easy on us if we don't hit on it, man.
Yeah, I think... as NBA fans, we've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Yes.
The season kind of drags on, February, March, April. But now we're here, and the matchups are set. Playing's cool. Like, it's a beautiful time to be alive. Baseball started, but that's beside the point. It's about to get nasty. It's about to get real interesting. And, we're going to dive in. We're going to hop on in it. You know what I mean? We're going to, hopscotch and skip and doodle.
Yeah, so the plan is to do every first-round matchup as well as the play-in games. Just the first round. We'll touch on each matchup. We'll give X factors of the games, what we expect from the games, our predictions for the series. And we'll take it round by round. You'll see a round 2 podcast all the way up into the championship. Because we love basketball. We love the NBA, man. We love the playoffs. So that's what we're doing today.
That we do, man. I got a bun in the oven.
Yeah, 350, 12 minutes, crispy. Speaking of crispy, man, we got some crispy matchups. I'd like to talk about them. Western Conference play-in games. We got number 9, number 10. And then we got 7 and 8. Pelicans versus the Spurs is the first matchup I'd like to talk about, man. Both teams kind of sliding around, not finishing with very high records, man. These teams
bad records
aren't very good.
I think the Spurs are like 14 games under 500 or something.
34 and 48.
Yeah, 14 games under 500. The Pelicans, however, they've been on a little streak. No one's really talking about it, but they've been streaking lately. They got C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes is playing well. Ooh, there's a little whisper of Zion playing 5-on-5 basketball again. Hey, come on, don't tell no one. But that's something to keep your eye out on. But, the Spurs snuck in. I wouldn't say it's a great matchup, but it'll be fun, I think. It'll be a fun, playing game.
Yes, absolutely. This is one of those matchups to where both of these teams are pretty evenly matched, both, below average teams. So it could kind of go either way, man. If one team gets hot, they won the series. That's what I think it comes down to, who's playing the better ball at the time. But like you said, man, the Pelicans, they were at the bottom of the Western Conference, and then they made this huge trade, a very underrated trade. Overlooked trade. C.J. McCollum was brought in.
Yeah, they didn't have to give up much.
No.
Not too much at all, and he's been very, very good. He's fallen right into place. It's like a puzzle piece, and he was their missing piece. And, I think about this matchup like who has the three best players in the series.
Okay.
And I think the Pelicans have dang near all three of the best players. Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, and Jonas Valanciunas. DeJounte being a very good player, but I don't know if he's at that. He doesn't have that experience, and I don't think he's at that echelon of. I mean, he was an all-star and everything, but maybe he's the third best in the series. But
I think two of the three. Yeah, I think DeJounte deserves to be in that top three.
Yeah, but I just think that the Pelicans have that, the studs that can win you a game when you need to win a game. A gamer.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to McCollum, he's only 30 years old.
Really?
He's only 30. He's still got some solid years left in him. And just that trade alone just brought so much energy to this team. Now they have a chance to get into the playoffs. He's been averaging 24 points, 6 assists, 1.3 steals. And I don't think you could be any happier with that move. If you're a Pelicans fan, if you're a member of the team, you have a chance to get into the playoffs with, riding his back. Him and B.I., Brandon Ingram. And I mean, you mentioned it. It's going to come down to the top three players. Two of them, maybe three of them, belong to the Pelicans. But what makes it interesting, those players are going up against a Greg Popovich coach team, which kind of evens it out a little bit.
I don't know if I'm worried about the Greg Popovich factor. I just don't. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say I would be surprised if the Spurs won, but let me just cut to the chase, man. I'm picking the Pelicans to win this game.
Wow.
But I will say I think it'll be a good game, close game. And I'm actually really rooting for the Pelicans because by a minor miracle, maybe Zion plays in the first round of these NBA playoffs, and boy, would I be the happiest young man this side of the Mississippi anyone's ever seen.
You think that's realistic? You think he could come back and play?
If he's playing 5-on-5, how close are you to coming back? Very, 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 very close in my eyes. Every time they play 5-on-5, the next step is, minor league baseball.
Yeah, I think that's true, man. To me, I mean, Greg Popovich, man, always finds a way to get the Spurs in. That's just what he's done his whole career. I know this team's not very good compared to, other teams, but Greg Popovich is a magician when it comes to playoff basketball and, getting teams ready to play, understanding that the game slows down, defense picks up. You got to be ready to play in the playoffs. And he's probably the best coach at doing that. I mean, every game it seems like the Spurs, historically speaking, not with this team, but...
Right, because he's a great coach. There's no doubt about it, and great playoff coach. But does he have what he needs to execute his game plan? I don't know about that. I think, Jacob Podol.
Yeah, Jakob.
He's a good player, good young center, but I think Jonas would overmatch him in terms of size and weight and things like that. And it's weird. He'll just get you 20 rebounds and act like it's nothing,
Yeah, I agree. I think, Valanciunas is just a dog at the end of the day. But I want to get I know you picked the Pelicans to win this game, but if, for the Spurs to win this game, who's the X factor?
That's a great question. I mean, I would say that maybe a Keldon Johnson.
Yep, that's the guy.
Keldon. I like Keldon. He reminds me of like a Charles Barkley or something.
Interesting.
He doesn't really have a go-to, but he's like a tough, gritty guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good player, but I think, DeJounte's going to get his, I think, and Jakob, and, who else is on the team?
Devin Vassell.
I like him. The Florida State dude?
Yes.
But he's not. Has he been good for him?
He's all right. I mean, yeah, he'll play his minutes. He's not going to change the game. But Keldon Johnson's an X factor for me as well. He's surprisingly averaged 17 and 6 this year. 6 rebounds, 17 points.
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah, but
He shot the three well, I
he
believe,
did.
too.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had that in his game. See, he's like, I don't know. He's a tough guy. I like him.
I think at some point he was shooting like 40%.
Yeah, at one point it was like newsworthy that he was shooting so well from three. I think one game he went like 6 for 6 or something, and everyone was like,
Really?
yeah. I like him, man. I really like Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, me too. Because he's got the size, like Barkley, like you said. He's very downhill.
Yeah.
Like he's always around the rim. But if he can make shots in this series right here and gets hot, or in this game, they can win this game. I mean, Jakob Poeltl has been very good as well. He's a great rebounder, averaged almost 10 rebounds a game. But yeah, I guess the matchup with Valanciunas too is a big question too. But I think this game's a toss-up, in my opinion. Go either way.
Come on, man. Don't toss it up. Let's hear it. Let's hear the pick.
I don't expect either team to go down without a fight. I'll say that. It's going to be a close game. I'm taking the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking the Spurs, man.
Yeah, man. Riverwalk.
As crazy as it sounds, I like the Pelicans more than I like the Spurs, but I don't know, man. DeJounte Murray's been incredible this year. I think Keldon Johnson has a good game. And Jakob Poeltl, man, if you can just hold your own a little bit against Valanciunas, I think they can pull this game out. But Valanciunas, though, is my X factor for the Pelicans. It's
a great one.
Very underrated. Very, very underrated.
I have a number of X factors.
Okay, I want to hear them from you, yeah.
Jackson Hayes.
Okay.
Has had a great end of the season. Like, I don't think a lot of people watch the Pelicans, but he's like a pretty good free throw shooter, reliable. He's always around the basket. He's able to shoot a little bit. I had no idea. He's built like a baby mama, but that's beside the point. He's a good player, and I like him, and I think he brings an extra juice, an extra level. To have that length on the floor with Jonas, I think that's, a twin tower dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like it. I like what Jackson Hayes brings to the table, and I like that little Alvarado dude, man. He'll play a little trick or treat on you, you know what I mean? He'll hide in the backcourt. He'll hide on the baseline, stomach down, and wait for you to pick up that ball. Double dribble, whistle, Pelicans ball. We're running.
Yeah, his story is pretty crazy, man. He's just a regular dude, just hooping, man. It's pretty cool.
He used to be a bag checker at Target.
Yeah, man, I appreciate him. So I don't know if you want to move on to the next.
Yeah, man, this is the one I've been chomping at the bit for this one, boys. The Timberwolves are back in the playoffs, baby.
Hey, not yet. Slow it down.
Hey, come on, man. Playing's playoff.
So the other Western Conference play-in matchup, Minnesota Timberwolves, 7th seed versus the Los Angeles Clippers, 8th seed.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
What is a clipper?
Those things you use to file down your toenails.
Oh. Why would you name your basketball team that? They should have been the Los Angeles Cliffords.
Big Red?
Yeah.
What, are they the Clippers for Staples Center? I don't know. What is Clippers?
I don't know. We'll have to research that. That's a very strange name to have for a team.
Clippers.
Like hair clippers?
Yeah,
toenail clippers?
What do they got going on down there, man?
I don't know, but fascinated by this matchup. Really looking forward to it. Timberwolves, after so long of having high hopes and letting us down, finally, got that 7 seed. Extended their coach, Finch.
Yeah, well deserved.
He used to be on the Rocket staff, didn't he?
Shout out.
Yeah, he's on the tree of D'Antoni.
Rink, rink, rink.
But I love what the Timberwolves bring to the table. Anthony Edwards is starting to get it. I think he was dealing with a knee injury, but he dropped a 49 piece like it was Burger King fries. So that was good. Patrick Beverley's giving them this attitude, this sass, this you can't talk to me that way without getting slapped in the Will Smith face. So I like that. And he said that, I heard a quote which I thought was interesting, that we're not going to change anything. If you drink a couple beers before the game, do it. Don't reinvent the wheel. That's a
Wow.
real quote. So I think he has drinking issues before games, but that's fine.
Very inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, that's just inspiration brought to you by Patrick Beverley,
Yeah.
You got to love it in a way. Like, I've never hated Patrick Beverley because he was on the Rockets when he got all this reputation, so I know what it's like. I've seen it firsthand, and I love it personally, but I can see how everyone else on the outside looking in is like, God, that guy's so pretentious and annoying, but there's a method behind the madness, and I love what he's done. I think he's a big reason the Timberwolves he gave them that edge. Karl Anthony Towns is shooting great. D'Angelo Russell is D'Angelo Russell, So I just like him. Malik Beasley, there's McDaniels, whatever, you know what I mean? I just like what they got going on there.
Yeah, I like that. Beverly's definitely been a big part, man. The defensive tenacity that he's got, the intensity he brings to that young team. He does a lot that goes overlooked. And like you said with the Rockets, man, Rockets fans understand it, man. They appreciate it because Beverly will do everything and anything to get in the person's head, loose balls, anything, man. That's a team player.
Yeah, and you can't hate it if he's on your team. We loved Patrick Beverly, the Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, that was Kyle Lowry.
Junkyard dog.
Junkyard Dog, yeah. We loved him. So, shouts out to P. Bev, man.
Yeah, he's definitely a great player. But getting back to the matchup, the Timberwolves riding on Karl Anthony Towns' back. I mean, that dude's been really good this year, man. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 1 block, 41% shooting from 3. He's kind of been doing it all this year. He's stepped up. We kind of had higher expectations this year for the Timberwolves. Like, we kind of predicted them to be in this spot here. Maybe not the 7th seed, but in the play-in tournament. And it's kind of nice.
It is. It's finally come to fruition.
Yeah.
We've been saying this for years now because they've had – I think it took, Anthony Edwards' second year.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of ascending. Karl Anthony Towns is figuring out who he is.
Yes.
And comfortable. D'Angelo Russell is just D'Angelo Russell. I don't think he's made in a leap or anything really. He's just – it's nice to have someone that can – score the ball and assist pretty well. I just think the coaching change and maybe the culture, in Minnesota has changed. So I think it's a big part.
Yes, definitely. And Anthony Edwards averaging 21.5 per game, second year. He's just a special athlete, a guy you're going to build around for many years. Him and Cat, great building blocks. And but for this year, for this matchup, man, they get the Clippers.
Ooh.
The Clippers have been riddled with injuries all season. Paul George missed 50-something games. He comes back. He's playing well. But Marcus Morris missed a lot of time. And, now that they kind of been rolling a little bit recently, but we're going to need to see some of those role players step up. That's the big question. Who's stepping up? Reggie Jackson? Could we see another one of those?
I just want to say something that's different about this Clippers team than I've seen in the past. I feel like they all really like each other. Like, the chemistry is really good. I always see, locker room stuff. And I don't know, I've stumbled upon it on Reddit, but they, really enjoy themselves. And I think in the past with, when they had Lob City and whatever, it was kind of forced and they had to be there. And with Kawhi, Serge and all that, I don't know how the dynamic was, but they seem to play for each other, and I think that's big.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what led to the run. And I think Ty Lue deserves credit.
Yeah.
As far as the X factor goes, man, I guess it would have to be Reggie Jackson. He's got to be consistent. He can't go 2 for 16 or can't turn the ball over. He can't have the bad Reggie Jackson game. Yeah. It's not going to work,
Mm-hmm.
We need the Reggie Jackson that can put up a 20-piece, good shooting percentage and not turning over the ball. But I mean, in my eyes, it's PG-13. You know, what do we get? We get playoff P or we get playoff stink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to get playoff P in this one game. We got to. He's got to go 30-plus. Zubac's been good. Marcus Morris has got to put up a good stat line too. I know he recently got back, but he's a guy before injury was putting up 20 points a night, doing stuff like that. That's what he does. But yeah, the X factor is definitely Reggie Jackson.
It's Nicholas Batum.
I don't know about that.
I don't even know what he's doing no more. I just know he's on the team. What about Kennard?
Yeah, I was gonna mention Kennard, but he's not really an X factor to me like Reggie Jackson. Because Reggie Jackson, he's inconsistent. I know Kennard is too, but he's more important to the team than Kennard is.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I think Kennard is like, it's so strange, his role. It seems like it varies. Like some nights he'll play a lot and some nights he won't play at all.
Right.
Like it's very inconsistent. So like I wouldn't consider him an X factor. It's got to be.
And even when he's on the court though, you don't really notice him unless he starts hitting threes.
Yeah, like he
that's the only impact he has.
Yeah, he's not gonna make his own shot. You know, he relies on everyone else to get him that open shot, and if he makes it, let's keep. You know, he'll get a little confidence, but if he doesn't make that first shot, it's pretty much downhill from there.
Yeah, you don't notice him unless he's, starts out 3 for 3 from 3. Then it's like, oh, cool, Luke Kennard's playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if he takes a shot and he's like 1 for 4, you forget about him. Like, it's Luke Kennard, whatever. So Reggie Jackson needs to have a good game here. He can't have a Reggie Jackson game. Kawhi Leonard.
He's just an interesting guy. I know he's been practicing and stuff, but he makes the media turn off the cameras when he's in the practice gym.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a video where he's coming on the court and he sees that he's like, turn off the cameras, and I'm like, okay. So I don't know what they have.
What?
There might be a first round for Kawhi too. I don't know.
I don't know about him, man.
But my thing is, I don't know if they can beat the Timberwolves without Kawhi. I don't know. I think it's going to be a dang good game.
The problem with the Timberwolves for me is that they are trailing a lot of games. Games that they've won, games that they've lost. They always seem to get down. Like their defense will struggle. They start games slow. In the second quarter, they could be down 8, and then they end up pulling back, making it close because their offense is so good. I'm just worried that if the Clippers come out hot, Kennard, is makes a few threes. Zubac is kind of holding it down a little bit, and then Paul George scores like 12 or 15 in the first. It just seems like, to me, like they just get down so early, and like in one playoff game, to me that there's a lot of risk involved because if the Clippers can just stay hot, get going, and play their game, get comfortable, I mean, are they going to come back? Are going to be able to keep up the pace?
We forgot about Norman Powell.
Yeah, him too.
I think if he gets hot, that game is going to be tough to beat the Clippers because that guy is a microwave, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, any of these guys. Marcus Morris can get hot. Kennard, Norman Powell.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they start the game and who's making shots, who's not. But I'm going to change my X factor.
Who did you pick?
Reggie Jackson.
Oh, for the Clippers? Okay, sorry.
Well, I'm going to go with Norman Powell. You'll have Reggie Jackson.
Okay, I like it.
But I'm going to go with another one.
All
Steve
right.
Ballmer.
All right, yeah.
If he's cringeworthy over on that sideline and making the Timberwolves uncomfortable, they got a shot.
Oh, you already know he's going to be redheaded, yelling, going crazy, man.
Doing weird dances and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And screaming like a Neanderthal.
What if they just had like a small camera in the corner of the screen just solely based off Steve Ballmer the whole game?
I would love that.
You could just like watch his reactions the whole game.
That's what I'm trying to look for every time I'm watching a Clippers game.
Yeah, man, when we start doing our live streams of us commentating the games, we're going to throw up a Steve Ballmer cam.
The Steve Ballmer, I like that. We check in with him every now and again.
Yeah, like, Steve, what's
Steve's
going
doing
on
right now?
Steve, what are you doing, man? What are you seeing down there?
All right, man, who you got in this matchup?
Can I give an X factor for the Timberwolves?
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is my X factor. Can he take over this game? Can we just see a crazy performance for him to clutch up special athlete does something incredible for them to make it in the playoffs, and then maybe this is when people realize like Anthony Edwards is that guy. Maybe he steps up and he has one of those crazy performances, gets the Timberwolves into the playoffs, and then maybe make a run at the Grizzlies because they have Anthony Edwards, and he becomes a star in this playoff game. He's my X factor if he can do that, man, because I mean, he could also go, 4 for 12. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we gotta get Anthony Edwards proving everyone that he is that guy, and if he does, they win. If he doesn't, they lose.
I absolutely love that X factor because I think this is a huge game for Anthony Edwards to make a name for himself and get this win.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with D'Lo.
Yeah, that's the obvious one to me, I think.
Yeah, D'Lo. I mean, shoot, I don't really know what he's doing in terms of stats, and I don't hear much from him anymore. But if he has one of those sneaky, maybe 15 to 18 and 10 assists, and as running the offense and making smart plays, I think he could very well lead this team to victory, X factor wise.
I agree.
I don't think he needs to score 20 plus. I don't think he needs to go for a 30 burger. I just think he needs to get the 10 assists, and it will be a nice day at the office for the young man. Slick it back, lick the envelope, send it.
Yeah, if he can just be efficient, no turnovers, but get make some playmaking abilities, man, that's what they should want out of him.
Kind of like what Reggie Jackson needs to do for the Clippers.
Yes.
Not too much because he got PG, but play smart basketball.
Yeah.
Be a point guard.
Yeah.
Be a point guard. Be a floor general. That's what we're saying.
Don't be silly, man. It's a playoff.
Don't get down on yourself, man.
A lot riding on it. I'm taking the Timberwolves.
I'm taking the Timberwolves. I have to, man. We've been waiting so dang long for this moment, and we're taking them. Let's get it on.
Yeah, Timberwolves. We are predicting them to win and get the 7th seed.
Oh.
Let's move on over to the Eastern stuff, man.
Jeez, this is where it gets real nappy.
Let's get flatlined and go Eastern.
Yep.
So first up, man, we got the 9th seed Atlanta Hawks versus the 10th seed Charlotte Hornets.
That's a great matchup. It's going to be an offensive fireworks show, man. I might need the Heimlich maneuver during that game, man. Yeah,
2 of the best young point guards in the league. Trey and Lamelli.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be this game might be 160 to 158.
Okay.
Because the Hornets do not play defense, and the Hawks' defense has been struggling. They've been hot of late, but boy howdy, they couldn't stop a bull in a china cabinet.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's going to be very offensive-minded, a lot of offense.
Oh, disgusting amount of offense.
I think the Hawks have more offensive firepower, but the Hornets should not be slept on.
I don't know about that. I've seen the Hornets, 3 people score like 25 plus.
Not to be slept on.
Oh, yeah.
They shouldn't be.
They should not.
Yeah.
They can. We've seen them put up 140 multiple times. They just can't play defense, dude. They cannot play defense.
That's true. That's true. That's okay though. Both of the Atlanta and Charlotte both finished 43 and 39. Very similar records, the exact same records.
I like that.
I don't know, man. The Charlotte Hornet lineup is more balanced. I think offensively, defensively, and then Oubre has playoff experience with the Warriors. I think so does Miles Plumlee, if I'm not mistaken. Terry Rozier. We'll just have to see, man. It's going to be fast pace, and just who's gonna knock down the shots.
Yeah, if you don't like defense, watch this game.
Yeah, if you like offense, man, this is the game for you. Trae Young, 28 points per game, 10 assists per game.
I have an interesting fact.
Let's hear it.
He's the only player ever to lead the NCAA in total points and assists, and also do it in the NBA.
Wow, is that just one season?
No, just like he came from college with the most points in the NCAA and the most assists total, not
so if you
averaging.
combined college and pro, total points, total assists, he has the most?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Like, he led one season in college. He was a freshman, and he led the NCAA in points total, not average, and assist, not average total. His only season at Oklahoma.
Right.
And he's done it again in the NBA. He's the only player to do it in both.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not averages, but total. So that's pretty crazy for as young as he is.
Yes.
He looks like a lollipop fell on the carpet.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it, man. I can see that, man. For sure, man. He's got that dark brown hair.
I'm still trying to figure out if I like him or not.
But I'll tell you what, man. It's easy to average that many assists when you got guys like John Collins, Clint Capella, Danilo Gallinari, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter. I think people are kind of sleeping on these role players, man. The Hawks made a great run last year because of the role players, man. They all stepped up. They played good.
Is John Collins back?
I don't know. Is he? Probably not, huh?
I don't think so.
I'm just saying, man. Season long, man. He's been doing it.
Yeah, Trey, especially of late, he's looking like the playoff Trey, which scares me, which has me leaning towards the Hawks.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it, man.
I ain't gonna do it.
I'm gonna go with the Hornets.
Ooh.
I think they catch fire for some weird reason, and I have an X factor on the Hornets.
Okay.
Miles Bridges.
All right.
Quietly had a great season, shooting well.
I think he averaged 20 points per game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no one's really talking about him. He's been really good.
That's most improved candidate.
Yeah, I think Terry scores a 20-piece. LaMelo gets 25, 7, and 8.
Wow.
I think it's a shootout, and they just score more than the Hawks.
Wow, okay.
And this is like going against what all my brain's telling me. My brain's screaming right now like you're going against Ice Trade a Gang. And the Hawks team that has a lot of studs on it when, the Hornets might be too soon to make that run, and the Hawks have been there and they've won it a couple series. So, I'm going with the Hornets, man, because I like Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, man. It's not surprising to make that pick, man. I almost think that's a smart play. I mean, consistency is key in anything in life, and it also goes for an NBA. The Hornets have had more consistency this year than the Hawks have. I think LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Terry Rozier, they've all played in more than 72 games this year, and all averaged dang near 20 points. So I think your argument is very valid. I want to take the Hornets, man, but I'm not going to take them. I'm going to take the Hawks in this game, in this matchup. I think we see Trey get close to 40 points. I like Capella's defense, and I like Danilo, who's been very hot recently, scoring 20+. And that's what I think, man. I think Danilo is the X factor in this game for the Hawks. If he can get that 20-burger, they can win this game.
I would say DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, he's another one for sure.
I really like him. I like what he does on both ends of the court.
Future Rocket.
And this could be I hope, but this could be one of those games where he gets the attention of the nation, He's kind of just been here and there, blowing in the wind.
Injured.
He could solidify his name here, and he's got the tools. He's got what it takes. I would be happy, if you dropped this, nice little 20-piece and, really locked down on defense. But, we'll see. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch for sure. Like, I'm just excited about all these games. They're all fun.
Yeah, I don't really care for either team just because I prefer teams who play good defense. I mean, these teams are fun to watch, like LaMelo and Bridges and Rozier will be amazing to watch in a playoff series. But in terms of, like, who I prefer personally, I I couldn't really care less because I don't think these teams aren't going to make a run in the playoffs without the defense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They'll be fun, but I just don't really care that much.
Yeah, I think the Hornets got their pants pulled down. They were bare butt and got spanked last
they played
playing
Milwaukee,
game.
right?
No, they played Indiana for the play-in.
They beat the Pacers.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then they
the
got
Pacers got
swept
spanked
by the Bucks.
Oh, so they made it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got it all wrong then.
Yeah, they made it. Because I remember I picked the Pacers to win the game, and they lost, and I was kind
The
of...
Pacers got spanked.
Yes, they got destroyed.
Okay, yeah, I had them mixed up.
Yeah, they got destroyed. It's all good, though, man.
The Pacers got their pants pulled down, bare buns, spanked by the Hornets.
Yeah, you can wear it.
They're playing one of the best playing teams of all time.
Who is?
The Hornets.
Yeah, it seems like they're always in it.
There's only been one, and they won.
Well, recency bias, I guess.
There's only one. Technically, they are the greatest playing team.
2 years in a row, man. 2 for 2.
All aboard. Yeah.
All right, the best matchup of the play-ins, honestly. Let's just get straight to it.
Come on, put the Brunson burner on.
Brooklyn Nets, 7th seed, versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Erlenmeyer Flask.
8th seed. Both of them finished with the exact same record.
Here we go again.
44-38. But Brooklyn won 2 out of 3, so they are the 7th seed.
Brooklyn Zoo.
Both of these teams dealt with injuries. Kind of a, rough, up and down, very up and down season for both of them. For Cleveland, they were the 4th seed at the All-Star break, I think, if I'm not...
Very volatile.
And then Brooklyn was a team we expected to be the number 1 or 2 seed. Lot of turbulence, man, this ongoing season. So to see him at 7 has been kind of, actually, it's been very, very surprising.
Yeah, I think Jared Allen was a big reason.
Huge.
Yeah, with his finger.
Oh,
He's not playing in the
gosh.
playing game, is he?
No.
So that plays into factor.
Gosh.
It's okay, man. Evan Mobley be out there.
Colin Sexton, Jared Allen, what else, man? Ricky Rubio.
They were doing great without Colin.
Ricky Rubio, though, was
Ricky
actually
Rubio was playing
very
like,
good.
He was playing like Slim Reaper.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out Rick Rube.
Yeah, man. Speedy recovery. Yeah, gonna be a very interesting game. To me, I mean, I've pretty much already booked
Hey,
the
settle.
ticket to the team I think is going to win for the first round.
I think Cleveland, for the season that they've had, they should be happy for where they're at right now. I know they started out hot, but being an 8 seed, winning the double amount of wins from last year, I mean, just a huge step up. Evan Mobley's going to be a star. Darius Garland was an all-star this year. Jared Allen was an all-star. Just the turnover from last year to where you are now, if you're a Cleveland fan, just to even be in this game, just being 44-38, I think that's a huge...
Yeah.
I think if you're a Cleveland fan, you got to be stoked regardless.
Absolutely, and the Eastern Conference was so tough this year.
Yeah.
From 1 to 10, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
The West is kind of lowly with the Spurs getting in with 14 games under 500, which is crazy, but the East, everyone's over 500, right?
Yes.
So that was and Cleveland, they fought, and they, they did have a heck of a season, so hats off to them. But let me tell you something. The road stops here. The storybook ending it's not going to happen. They're not going to make it past the Brooklyn Nets.
Wow.
Let me give you 2 reasons. Slim Reaper and Kyrie Jeffrey Irving.
Those are 2 very, very good reasons, man.
Yep. And I think, Brooklyn, the record isn't very good. They went through a lot. KD was hurt. Kyrie could only play away games. And I think this is what KD and Kyrie have been waiting for all year. They've been coasting. Yeah, they put up great numbers and stuff, but they know it's time. Kyrie's been struggling a little bit, but when the lights get bright, I think he'll be fine. And I know I think they know that they have reinforcements coming. 6'10", out of Australia, Benjamin Simmons.
Yeah, that's a great point. Do you have an X factor for the Nets?
Bruce Brown.
Okay.
Bruce Brown's been playing really, really good basketball, man. He's just kind of a do-it-all kind of guy. He's kind of like Keldon Johnson in a way. Like if they have similar play styles to me. You
like
know?
a guard version.
Yeah, they're like, but they can rebound really well, and they're scrappy and they're not afraid of contact or anything.
Downhill. Yeah.
I like Bruce Brown. I think he's been serviceable. I think he needs to have 15 to 20 points. I think he needs to be active on the boards. I think he needs to be active on defense to help those those Giants out. You know what I mean? Because I hope yours is someone different.
It is, but I love Bruce Brown's a great X factor because we've seen him have really good games, and if he has a good game, they win this game. And he's a good player, very underrated because he does the little things. My X factor is Seth Curry. He's been out with an ankle injury for a few weeks, but he plans to play. He might be on a minute restriction.
I think he said he's only ever going to be 80% for the rest of the season if he plays on it.
Well, they're going to need 80% of Seth Curry. To me, that's the one guy that they really need. They really need Seth Curry, even in this game and if they win this game in the next playoff series. He's my X factor because they need a sharpshooter. They need that guy they can rely on to hit some threes.
Amen.
They don't really have that too many guys outside of that. With Harris out, Joe Harris is out.
Dragic.
I mean, he's not. I mean, if he can hit some, he's a good X factor. But to me, it's Seth Curry. If you can get 20, 25 minutes out of Seth Curry, you can get those 4 to 6 3-point attempts, maybe 3-point makes. He gives you a way better chance because he can, if he catches fire, even at 80%, 70%, he gives you the points you need against a Cleveland's team who's very good defensively. So if you can space it out with Seth a little bit, he'll give you that much more of an advantage.
Is there a parallel universe where you would pick Andre Drummond as the X factor?
No, I thought about him, but I don't think so. Because he's going to get Mobley, probably, right? I mean, Mobley's the X factor for me for Cleveland. But for Drummond, he's just going to do Drummond things. I mean, he's going to rebound, have a few points on offense.
I was going to take Evan as my...
Maybe we can talk about it then.
But I'm going to change.
Oh, okay. Who's your X factor for Cleveland?
Markkanen.
Laurie? Okay.
Oh, scratch that. Kevin Love, man. We see him put 32 up in 15 minutes. Man, that hadn't been done since the shot clock era in 1999.
Shangri-La.
Yeah, Shanghai Shake.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Love, playoff experience. Probably the only one on the Cavaliers. He plays that old man game. He can still shoot the three. He's looking like a silver-tongued fox out there, man. And don't let him lull you to sleep because whenever that burner gets to shooting, he's making it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That was very inspirational.
It's not like Kevin Love's going to take over any game, but I think like big shots,
yeah,
he's the guy. And if he makes them, we'll be seeing you in Brooklyn.
I think this is going to be a great game. This is going to be the best play-in game.
It's about to start.
Mobley is my X factor. Mobley's got to be the guy. Mobley's got to have a great game for them to win. There's no other way around it.
What are the stats he needs?
Don't beat around the bush.
Hey, I'm tired of it. I ain't want it.
Mobley's got to have a Mobley game. He's got to be
Give me the
guy.
stats he needs.
He's going to need 20 to 25. He's going to need at least 10 to 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's going to have one of those, I am the rookie of the year. I deserve to be here. We deserve to be in the playoffs. I am that guy. That's what we need. We need that out of Mobley. He's the X factor. He has to. Darius Garland is going to be Darius Garland. If he has a big game, they have a chance, obviously. But for them to truly win this game, Evan Mobley's got to hold his own against Drummond, a much stronger, probably better rebounder at this point. So if he can hold his own, he can put up points, be dominant like we've seen at times during his rookie year, Cleveland will win. Straight up, straight out.
I couldn't agree more. If he puts up them numbers, they winning.
Yep.
They
have to have that. They have to. Jared Allen is going to get those rebounds. He's going to get you the 16, 20 points. Mobley's got to do that and a little more because they don't have Jared Allen.
Yeah, he's going to need to score like Tim Duncan.
Yes.
He's going to be the big fundamental tonight, and he needs to grab the boards like Hungry Hippo.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to swat that ball like it's a fly.
Yep, we got to see it, man. We got to see it. I'm taking Brooklyn.
Oh, Marcus Scorsese.
Straight up and straight out.
Straight in there.
I'm taking them for two reasons. One reason, I want to see Celtics and Nets series. I want to see it. I have to see it. Lord, give it to me.
Dude, I'm right there with you, man. I'm taking the Brooklyn boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said this many times probably, KD, man, he's the best.
Can't count against him.
Kyrie could potentially drop a 60. I don't know. It's just the two best players in the series are in the game.
Yeah.
By far.
Yep. So,
that's just me. Brooklyn wins.
Brooklyn wins by more than 15. I'll let you guys know later tonight.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the playing games, man. We'll have to see how they play out, man.
Playing.
Yeah, we're getting a little rich. We're getting a little wet moving forward.
Yeah, we are.
Because I'm sweating from all this basketball talk, all this good basketball, and it's time to move on to the first round matchups.
Yeehaw.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you had the Pelicans. So they, with the win, they're playing the Suns.
Yes,
in the first round. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it? Suns steamroll.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter who's winning the playing game.
Wow.
Because the Suns are on a different level than basically every team in the West.
Okay.
They're clicking. They got it. Coach of the Year, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges. You know, to me, it's a sweep.
Ooh.
Pelicans might win one game, sneak a game, but to me, it's David versus Goliath.
Ooh, Mammoth versus Baby Hippo.
Ooh, that would be fascinating.
That's something you got to get on National Geographic.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that.
Spurs for me are playing the Suns. Unfortunately for the Spurs, they get swept by the Suns. We know what happens when those Cowboys get out there in that desert. That sun beats down. There's nowhere to hide. The sun ends up victorious every time.
Unforgiving.
So we win.
Relentless.
Phoenix takes on the Spurs. No match. There's not a single guy who can cover a single guy on the Suns. DeJounte will have a nice series. That about it. They get swept.
Oh, the Suns are going to beat the Spurs like a redheaded stepchild.
Oh, man. It might get bloody and it might get brown.
It might be very ugly, but yeah, I think we are in agreement with what the Suns will do to any team that plays them in the 1-8 matchup.
That's good. Okay, so let's move on, man. We got the 4 and 5 seeds. We got the Dallas Mavericks 4 seed, the Utah Jazz the 5 seed.
Interesting stuff developing.
Ooh, breaking news.
It sounds like Luka's calf strain is a little more than mild.
Ouch.
We saw him outside the hospital with a walking boot on. Talk about bad timing.
Brutal.
So that opens the door for the Jazz. They've been about as disappointing as any team in the NBA this year. There's turmoil, and it might just boil over if they don't beat the Mavericks without Luka.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I think Luka will play. I don't know about game 1 or 2, but I think he'll get back and try to play. But this gives definitely the Jazz a boost of confidence, because I don't think the Mavericks are very good without Luka, to be totally honest with you.
I think they're better than they were last year. I think they can hold their own.
Jalen Brunson's good.
When Luka's out, Jalen Brunson is like crazy all-star.
Yeah, I think
And they're good. I mean, they've played much better with Dinwiddie. Um, I mean, Finney Smith is a solid player. Dwight Powell has been really good down the stretch. I know that's been with Luka, but I mean, he's a solid center in the league. Um, they're definitely worse, 100%, without obviously a Luka player. But I just don't trust what I see from Utah. I don't. We expected much more from Utah this year, offensively, defensively, and it's just been frustrating. I know Don Mitchell's frustrated. I know he's very upset with what's been going on. Joe Ingles has been out. Mike Conley isn't even that good anymore. Rudy Gobert.
What about Rudy Gay?
Rudy Gay's cool with me still, but and Clarkson, I mean, he's been solid, but he's just hadn't been the same. This team just seems like they're going to...
Dude, it's played out like a Jerry curl.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it from, Lancelot.
Yeah.
You can see it coming already. That's why I think Jazz is a smart pick. I just don't trust what I see. So I'm not sure.
I'm taking the Jazz in 7.
Okay. That's fair. I think with Don Mitchell, you can
We've seen what Donnie can do in the playoffs in the bubble.
Yeah, and if it gets to a game 7, Don Mitchell is probably going to have to take over, and he can, Dallas doesn't really have someone that a game 7 has to take over. They're lacking that without Luka. But you mentioned, what if Luka's back for game 7?
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up, really, but I feel like the games that Luka misses, it's hard for me to see them beat the Jazz. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't... Luka literally is a 30, 10, and 10 guy for the Mavericks when they win. You take that off their team.
Yeah, but
where does it come from?
What if Jalen Brunson... Dude, I mean, I think averaged...
Spencer Dinwiddie.
I think Jalen Brunson averaged 25 in games that Luka's out. So if he can at least supply 25, that's only 5 less points. And then another guy can step up. Dinwiddie could easily have 30, 1 or 2 of those games, and I don't know. I think people are picking the Jazz now with Luka out, but I think it could be a lot closer. A game 7 would be...
Pick it.
I'm gonna take Dallas.
In what?
7 games.
To be honest with you, I don't like either of these teams.
I actually despise both of these teams.
Yeah, I actually really just seriously, severely dislike both teams with a passion. First of all, Dallas is a rival of the Houston Rockets. I'm not a big fan of Luka. I know he's a great player. I don't like the way Dwight Powell looks. I'm not a big fan of Jason Kidd as a person either.
All right.
I don't like Mark Cuban that much. I know he's a very rich man and good person. And as far as the Jazz go, I just really don't like Rudy Gobert. So.
And I would say they're a rival to Houston. We play them in the playoffs.
Yeah, we've had beef, but it's just really, if Rudy Gobert wasn't on the Jazz, I'd be very fine with him.
I don't like the Jazz.
I don't like the way Rudy Gobert walks.
I think I dislike the Mavericks more than the Jazz, but I also want Dallas to win just so we can see Utah break everything up. Don Mitchell gets traded away. Rudy Gobert goes to Golden State. Mike Conley retires. That's fine with me. And I don't know. I'm holding out hope that Dallas gets back Luka some point during this series, and they're a better team with Luka than the Jazz right now.
Rudy Gobert looks like an ostrich leg.
Yeah, he looks like someone's mom.
Yeah.
But let's move on, man, to that stink series, to a better series. The 3 and the 6 seed in the West. Golden State 3 seed, Denver Nuggets 6 seed. Let's hear it, man. What do you got? What are you thinking about it?
This is a big series in terms of how I'm going to view the Warriors. How they look in a 7-game series against the Nuggets, who won't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., I don't believe.
No.
It's going to be the Nikola Jokic show.
Yes.
Yes, he's dang good, but is it enough? Yes, he's shooting 17 of 22 from the field, dropping a 30 burger on your head, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. But is it enough, Luke? Tell me, is it enough? I don't think so. If Steph will be back, Clay,
Will Steph be back
he's practicing. I'm hearing he probably will be.
for the
He's
whole
still got
series?
time.
Will he miss a game or two?
I don't know, he might.
Okay.
But they got Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Kuminga. They got too much firepower, and I don't know if it's enough for just Jokic. You know, who's his Barton? Will Barton?
Sure, Aaron Gordon,
Oh, don't even get me started on that clown.
Monte Morris.
Whenever the playoffs come around, Aaron Gordon's going back in his rabbit hole because he is not a big time player in big moments.
I think he'll have a good series. He's my X factor for Denver, but he's not as bad as you say. I mean, he'll have a good series. I think. I mean, he has to for them to have a chance, but they don't have a chance. I mean, in all honesty, they have zero chance. Klay Thompson's on fire right now. Like the last 3 games, he's averaging like 37 or something. If they get Steph back, this is the perfect time to get Steph back to make this run, to get comfortable together. Draymond Green, last few games he's been a lot better than he has been, but they're getting healthier. Their role players are better. Jordan Poole's the most improved candidate. He's going back, I wish I would have made him my pick, but they just got way too much. And like you said, it's just Jokic. He's going to put up crazy stat lines, but at the end of the day, it's not enough to win. The Warriors win in 5 games. It won't even be much of a sweat.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. And this is a big game for me to analyze the Warriors and see if they can make the run.
Yeah, like if they
to
come
the
out
Western.
looking like the old Golden
Yeah.
State, scoring 130 points a night.
Yeah, it'll be. Is James Wiseman just out for the season?
Yes.
Oh, he's not
done.
playing
Yeah,
for
he
the-
won't be there.
I think Kevon Looney's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. In the playoffs, he always seems to be okay.
He's average.
And Draymond will play the 5 too.
But
It won't matter.
yeah, as far as the X factor goes, I mean, I guess it has to be Aaron Gordon, right? Will Barton?
Oh, for Denver?
Yeah.
I think it's Aaron Gordon 100%. Because, Will Barton is Will
It's
Barton.
Bones, man.
Is he the X Factor?
I mean, they need so that we know what we're gonna get from Will Barton.
From Barton, for sure.
Aaron Gordon. Well, I guess because Aaron Gordon stinks in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
He needs to stop
can be
focusing
good,
on his
though.
hairdo and focus on his play.
I think Bones is definitely an X Factor. But I wouldn't expect too much. Like, people expect things from Aaron Gordon. Like, he's been in the league. He's put up really good numbers, even on Denver. Like, he has those games. And
This
to
is
me-
Bones' chance to ascend to a level that not just basketball fans know, but the nation knows.
Yeah, maybe so. He's an X Factor. Yeah, I can see that. I can see him being an
I got
X Factor.
Bones on it.
Okay, I can see that. I like that. What about for the Warriors?
I think, yeah. Did you say Clay?
No, I haven't mentioned mine yet for the
I think
Warriors.
the X Factor is Klay Thompson.
Okay.
If he stays hot. If he goes back into a slump, I think it's because he's going to take a lot of shots, and if he's missing those shots, that's a lot of, points left on the court, you know what I mean? So I think it's Klay Thompson, in all honesty.
What Clay do you expect to see, though? Are we going to see this super hot Clay, like playoff Clay, going crazy? Or what do you expect, really?
Yeah, I think Klay's been waiting for this moment.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear, man.
I think he's been waiting. It might take him a little bit to get, but I think once he gets going, it's going to be really hard to stop him and the Warriors. Because it stinks, man. Steph and Klay on the same team, and if they're shooting lights out.
There's a guy we didn't mention, and he's my X Factor.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala.
It's Aaron Wiggins.
Andrew
Wiggins. Sorry.
Aaron Wiggins. He's the guy on OKC.
Pardon. I meant to say Andrew. I got brothers
He was
named Aaron
looking
and
at me,
Andrew.
man.
Yeah. Andrew Wiggins is the X Factor 100%, man. This dude has got to be on his game. This dude's got to be hitting shots. He stinks. I know he was an all-star. We've seen that. But as of late, he hasn't been good. I think he has the worst free throw percentage in the second half of the season. So if we got to see some of that all-star level Andrew Wiggins, that early season Andrew Wiggins. If we get that, that's when we see the Warriors, looking like the old Warriors, and they win this game in 5. So let's get a little bit of that Andrew Wiggins going.
What makes Andrew Wiggins tick?
Oh, tick?
Like what gets him? Like I don't understand him at all.
Okay.
You're going from an all-star caliber player, and we're like, oh, maybe he's turning the corner on being a good player, and then he goes back into his shell.
Yeah.
Like not aggressive, bad shots. Just I don't know, man. He's an interesting character. I'm fascinated by him.
Yeah, it is interesting because with basketball, there's hot streaks and there's cold streaks. But for him, he goes from being like a good player to then like being non-impactful at all. Like he disappears. But he just was so hot and was a good player so early on, and that's what makes me. I hated the fact that he was an all-star because he's not that type of guy. Because
I was so excited when he was an all-star, and you were saying
he stinks.
Yeah, and I was like, well, he's an all-star, and then
he's not that guy. He's not, but he's an X factor.
I like that. I really like that X factor.
Honestly, forgot he was on the team. That's how bad he has been.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So did I.
We didn't mention him, and I had to look. I was looking at the roster. I was like, oh, Andrew Wiggins. Wow, he's still there. All right, the next matchup.
I have the Warriors winning.
In 5 or what?
I give them 6. Jokic comes with 2 games.
Yeah, it definitely could happen. I like it. So the 2 seed Memphis Grizzlies face off against the 7 seed Minnesota Timberwolves.
I love this matchup.
Okay, yeah.
However, I'm gonna get on that bandwagon and believe in the Grizzlies this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think they are very, very well-rounded, good team, deep team. I like the way they match up with the Timberwolves. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. on Karl Anthony Towns. He's been fantastic on defense. He's nimble. He's long. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is going to just definitely abuse him in that matchup. Dylan Brooks is a good defensive player. John Morant, I like I think they'll throw a lot of different things at the Timberwolves and confuse them. So, I like the Grizzlies in this matchup.
Yeah, I think they're definitely favored. They're a good, very balanced team. Definitely more balanced than the Timberwolves, so they do match up well. John Morant, he's missed a lot of time. Correct? Incorrect?
It looks like he picked up where he left off.
How much time? He missed like 6 weeks, didn't he?
He missed a lot of time.
I think my theory is he did get injured, but they rested him to be ready for the playoffs. I think they wanted him. At 120%.
Yeah, for sure.
And with that amount of rest, he's going to be ready to go for these playoff matchups. And I think that'll go a long way, man. I think rest is very important, especially going into the playoffs. But Desmond Bane, he's a guy that can get real hot in a series and take it over, honestly.
Desmond Bane, yeah.
He's a guy that could put up 25 in a series and just, he's one of them. And Steven Adams, too, if he can hold his ground against Cat, him and Triple J. Triple J's first team all defense type of player this year.
2.3 blocks a game.
He's about that life.
You just got to watch out for his fouls, but
yeah, that's a big thing too, especially in a playoff series. Who's your X factor for the Grizzlies?
X factor?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
It's got to be Dylan Brooks, right?
I think he was my X factor last year or something.
Oh, really?
I want to go with someone different.
Okay, please, yeah.
I think it's JJJ.
All right, I like it.
Staying out of foul trouble, shooting a high percentage from 3, and being a disruptor on defense. I think I want him to be everywhere. I want to see his ascension during this. If they're gonna make a run, JJJ has got to be that guy. He's got to ascend. He can't just be this belly itcher. He can't just be piggybacking off Steven Adams. I want him to make a name for himself. I want him to be talked about like Ja Morant. I want him to make that leap. And I think, if he can do that, the Grizzlies will be in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I like that, man. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of my favorite players. He's easily a top 5 favorite player for me in the league. But we haven't seen him put it all together.
He finally played a full season.
Finally played a season, and we saw what he can do, man. First team all defense type of guy. Just like you said, to me, he's an X factor because of the fouls. If he can play a full amount of minutes, stay out of foul trouble, he's going to be an impactful player.
Yeah.
So it's all about him, being able to play on the court because he's going to do his thing. That's what he does. So I like that. I love that X factor a lot. My X factor is Dylan Brooks. He kind of hasn't been the guy this year. I don't know. He has his games. We'll have like 16 and 8 and stuff like that, and then we'll have games where he shoots poorly and he has 9 and 3, 2 and 1, whatever. But just what he can do defensively. He's a very solid defensive player. He's very intense. But we're going to have to see him put up, the 16, 18, 20 pointers that we saw a little bit last year in last year's playoff game. So
yeah, he was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're looking at the Grizzlies or at least for me personally, I'm not looking at them like they're the little kids of the NBA anymore, like the up and coming. I think they've arrived.
Really?
I think they'll make that run. They proved it. They're good.
I almost think that could play. I don't think that, but what do you think it's possible that they might have lost a little bit of the chip on their shoulder? Kind of like last year they were playing with the chip on their shoulder.
I don't know. I think they have it. I don't know. I don't know if it's instilled in them. Like
grit and grind.
They still get like what they said about Andre Iguodala and stuff, and Jaws always.
That's true.
I just think they have something about playing in Memphis, dude. You get Zebo, the ghost of Zebo envelops you, and you just it's us against the world in Memphis, kind of.
Who do you have winning this matchup? Or do you have an X factor for the Timberwolves in this matchup? I guess we already touched on them a little bit, but
for this matchup, Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, I like that.
Especially since he's gonna have to.
If he treatment.
If he can get in Ja Morant's head, or I think he could really. That could change the whole series.
I think
that's what's crazy about Patrick Beverly. It's not necessarily how he's shooting or his defense or anything. Or his passing. It's like, what can he live in your mind rent free? Because once he's in there, he's gonna his squatter's rights. He's going to get butt naked and sit on the couch and watch TV with his feet on the coffee table.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot of noise for the Timberwolves in a good way. This is crazy, but I'm taking the Timberwolves over the Grizzlies.
In what?
7 games. Yeah, they could lose the playing game and not get in at all, but I'm taking it, man. I'm riding it. I like what I see of the Timberwolves. They've got the 2 stars who can put up points with anyone. And I just have a weird feeling about the Timberwolves. Maybe it's my head and not my heart, but
I respect the heck out of that, Luke.
I'm taking the Timberwolves over the Grizzlies.
I'm taking the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's a smart
pick. But I'll
pick.
give, the Timberwolves fight 6 games.
Okay, yeah.
It's not just a slump 'em game.
I'm going to end up regretting this, but I'm going to do it because
this could be like the greatest prediction ever. I like the energy.
Never works out, but I'm taking
honka honka poo poo poo.
Timberwolves, baby. Let's get it.
Yep.
Let's move on over to the Eastern, man. We got to the first round matchups. Let's knock this out, man. We got the Miami Heat. You had the Hornets winning this one, right? So they slid in. No, that's not true.
You got to do the...
So you have the Hawks playing the Cavaliers to get into that 8 seed.
Yeah, I got the...
Who do you have in that matchup?
How do I have the Hawks? I picked the Hornets.
Because the Hawks lost. Oh, no, the Hornets play the Cavaliers. Sorry.
Yeah, Hornets, Cavaliers. I'm going to go with that's going to be a really good game. I would go with the Cavaliers.
Okay, I like it. Do they have a chance against the Heat?
Uh, Not really, but in a way, maybe. I'm really confused on how I feel about the Heat. Jimmy Butler hasn't looked that good. Kyle Lowry's like basically fallen off a cliff. I don't know if he's saving it for the playoffs or what. Like he's not putting up numbers, or he's just kind of there. I don't know. It's weird to me.
I feel the same way. The Heat don't seem like a super strong one seed. Like in the past, like one seeds are like the Bucks. Like one seeds are normally like these is the team to beat. But the East is just so dang strong. Like the Heat don't seem overpowering. I mean, the Bucks are great. Celtics are great. Sixers are great. Like, any of these teams could be one seeds, and that's why to me it seems like Miami Heat isn't as intimidating as they should be as a one seed because it's just so evenly high powered.
Yeah, I think I'm not really scared. Maybe Jimmy has playoff Jimmy mode, but it's like Tyler Hero and Bam would be, the guys I'd be, focusing
100%.
on. But you can never count out Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler. They're playoff war ready, and they're gonna bring it every night. So it's just, I guess it was a regular season thing, but I'm just telling you what I seen. But I think the Heat will win the series against the Cavaliers if it comes to that.
And
Camp out and dogs.
How many games?
I would say 6.
Really? They get 2 games?
No, I'd probably I'll do 5 games.
Okay, I like it. Do you have an X factor for the Heat in this game?
Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, I like it.
40 burger. The last game of the season or something.
Yeah, so I watched it. He's a good player. He was really good that game, actually.
I think that actually, let me change it. Kyle Lowry.
All right.
Kyle Lowry. We need to see old 18 points, 10 assists, Kyle Lowry. He's got I don't know. Maybe he's fallen off a cliff, but he stinks to me when I watch him.
Yeah,
you don't know he's there. And they spent so much money on him. Kyle Lowry's he's got to earn his contract in this playoff atmosphere. That's why they brought him here.
Wow. I like it, man, because Kyle Lowry hasn't been very good, but they need him. So for me, my 8 seed it'll be the Hawks versus the Cavaliers. I'm going to take Atlanta in this game. I'm going to take the offense. I'm going to ride up based off what they did last year. Miami Heat will beat the Hawks in 5 games just because their defense is just – if they can hunker down, slow the Hawks offense down a little bit, Hawks don't have no chance. Just a few things. I think, the Heat, man, also can't be underappreciated, man. They got a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Bam Adebayo, 6th Man of the Year candidate in Tyler Hero. And, you mentioned him, man. Jimmy Butler hasn't been that guy this year, but in the playoffs, he's got the defense, he's got the experience to help this team get over the edge. And, the Miami Heat are the number 1 team for a reason. They're one of the best defensive teams, and they're gonna beat the Hawks in 5 games. And I also think PJ Tucker's the X factor in this series. Just what he's done previously in the playoffs for Houston, Phoenix, Milwaukee last year. He kind of puts that team over the top, man. That's a big reason why they're number 1. Just his defense, his ability to guard, 3 through 5. He can shoot the corner 3 ball. PJ Tucker's my X factor in this series.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir.
Dog the bounty.
I forgot about PJ Tucker.
Yeah, he'll be back and playing.
Do we have to do an X factor for the Cavaliers?
If you wanted to, yeah, you could. We're past it, but it's all right.
It's EM.
Okay. Gnarly. All right, another great matchup, man. 4 seed 76ers versus the 5 seed Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting, man. The Sixers, man, 4 seed. What are we thinking?
I think it's a tough matchup. The Raptors have surprised all year long with that. They just got a big lineup. Scotty's played well. Pascal. You know, they got a lot. Fred VanVleet. I think this is a sleeper team that people are underestimating, including the Sixers. Joel could very well be the MVP of the NBA, and I think he deserves it. He's been playing bodacious ball.
Okay.
James Harden has not been playing bodacious ball.
Yeah, lazy
But I
boy.
got a theory for you.
All right.
The Harden-James theory.
Okay. James Barden.
James has been lulling us to sleep, so we think he stinks. But he's going to come out like the old James Harden we know and love, and he's going to play really hard, and he's going to be the guy, not Joel Embiid in this series.
I don't believe it.
Oh, what do you got to say about it?
I don't believe it.
Come on, man.
2 reasons. First reason, Toronto Raptors. Their wings are long. They're good defenders. 6'9", wingspans. Scotty Barnes. OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
Precious Achiuwa. Chris Boucher. All of those guys, man, can guard Harden. All those guys can face up. All those guys can play the defense. James Harden's got his hands full in this matchup. Second reason, the center for Toronto is undersized, skinny, shorter.
Who?
Precious Achiuwa's.
Oh, Joel's going to average 50 points.
Joel Embiid is going to absolutely destroy Toronto. And that's how it happens, man. James Harden's going to have a rough patch. People are dee-dee-boo-dee-boo-dee-boo. And then Joel Embiid's being an MVP type of guy. This isn't a series that I love for James Harden, but maybe the next series because the Sixers will win in 6 games. I think Toronto can get a few games just because if they can lock down, I would just let Joel do Joel. Let Joel get 30, 40. Let him beat you. Just shut down James, shut down Toby, and then, find a rhythm offensively with VanVleet and them guys. But this isn't the series for Harden, in my opinion.
Raptors win in 7.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nick Nurse.
Don't tell
Pascal
me.
Siakam. Scotty Barnes.
Don't tell me.
Yes, Joel may average 50.
Don't tell me.
I think that
Holy cow.
the Raptors are the Cinderella team this year.
God, Dios.
I said it, and I ain't ashamed of it.
I respect it, man. It's not popular, but I could see it.
I just think that the length, and Nick Nurse is a great coach. I think they're cooking something up that we may not even fathom just yet until we see it.
I could see that, though. I mean, I like that, man. Their defense, they're long. They're a good matchup. Other than Joel, I mean, they can shut down a few guys.
Yeah, and
Wow, that's crazy, man. I'm shocked.
7 games, Toronto Raptors.
Who is the X Factor? Who's the guy that's going off in this one for them?
For the
Raptors.
I think it has to be OG.
All right.
I think I've already had him as an X Factor before.
You can do that, man. That's fine.
But I think, we know what we're going to get from Pascal. We know what to get from Fred VanVleet. But OG's like a wild card. Like he can defend really well, but we don't know. He's not an offensive juggernaut. But if he can contribute, if he can average about 18 a game, I think that would be humongous for the Velociraptors.
Yeah, I can see it. He's definitely an X Factor.
But of course, the real X Factor is Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, he's definitely one. I like Anunoby, though, because we haven't really seen him reach that level, really. He's kind of been behind the scenes a little
I
bit.
want to change my X Factor.
All right.
Precious Achiuwa.
All right.
Shooting 40% from 3.
All right.
Pull Joel away from the basket and let the other trees go to work.
Okay, I like it. I just don't think Toronto has enough offensively to win the series. I mean, Sixers offense. You're still gonna get Harden doing his thing. He's not. He's not gonna like blow the series out of the water, but he's still James Harden. And Toronto doesn't have enough offensively. Siakam could do his thing, and Fred VanVleet, but that's really about it for
The
offense.
76ers have Doc Rivers.
I think Doc Rivers is overrated.
That's what I'm saying. He stinks at coaching playoff basketball.
Yeah, but you have. The two best players are on the Sixers, and I think that's all. And Toby Harris isn't a guy to push away either. He could have a few games where he's.
The X factor for Philly is Maxey.
You think so? Oh, well, Thibault will be out too with the vaccine stuff.
Yeah, you're missing 2 points and 2 steals.
Yeah, but he's impactful.
He's a plus guy.
Yeah, he is. But Maxey's your X factor?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because if James Harden struggles, it's vital that Maxey picks up the slack.
Yes,
in order for them to win this series.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
I give it a 51% chance that the Raptors beat.
No, you took the Raptors.
No, I'm saying 51%, 49 76ers.
Okay. Raptors in 7, man.
At the end of the day, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, home court. They got a great home court advantage. Toronto, dude.
They got Drake.
Yeah, they'll sleep in the carton.
Yes, they will.
And then hatch and become dinosaurs. Okay, that was a good matchup. Next matchup, 3 seed Milwaukee Bucks versus 6 seed Chicago Bulls.
It's been a rough road for the Chicago Bulls as of late.
Yeah.
They look like a team that, what is it called? Fool's gold. I've said this many times on the podcast before. DeMar was at one point mentioned in the MVP race. They were really hot to start the season, and they've just plateaued, and now they're kind of regressing back to the Bulls we all know and love, that we kind of assumed they would be. I think it has all to do with Lonzo's absence. Zach LaVine, I think, is overrated as well.
Ooh.
Vucevic, you couldn't throw a rock in the ocean right now. He's not what. I don't know how you go a whole season and have those numbers and not. I think he's overrated too. I think they're full of overrated players.
Really?
And I think they came out and outperformed what we expected, and I just think they are who they are now. They're a very average team, maybe a little below average in a lot of categories. So in my eyes, the Bucks are gonna beat the brakes off the Bulls. A lot of bees.
Wow. Yeah, that was a lot.
4-1.
The Bulls have been slipping. I think they lost 6 of their last 10 games going into the playoffs. But you still have DeRozan, you still have LaVine, you got Patrick Williams back, Alex Caruso's there. And then, Vucevic is a good player when he's playing good. He's a really...
Did he ever play good this year?
No.
Exactly.
Nah, he had a few spurts, but overall, no.
I don't get it, man.
I think with LaVine, how hot he can get in a series. We haven't seen it because this is his first playoff series in his career, so shout out to that. That's pretty cool to get to see LaVine in a series. But if he can get hot, from 3 a little bit, and then DeRozan can have some 30-point nights that we've seen. He can, and maybe Vucevic has a good series. Who knows? This could be.
Are you picking the Bulls?
What if we see the Bulls, early season Bulls, where they're just clicking, they look good, everything's good? What if we see that against Milwaukee? I'm not taking the Bulls. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
If we see that, it'll go to 6 games.
I'm just hoping for a good series, man. I want to see the Bulls play good.
I'm hoping for a good series, but it's hard for me to see it right now.
Okay.
The Bulls are out of sorts.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
see
playing the
that.
defending champions who know what it takes to win a series.
Yeah.
And Giannis is, good golly gosh, he's about to turn it on again. And they just know what they have to do. They have Brook Lopez back. You know, they're ready. Bobby Portis got the essential minutes. So now he's a very big factor. And Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, they got it. They got it going on.
I mean, in all reality, without having Lonzo Ball, I'd be shocked if the Bulls win a game.
Yeah, if Lonzo was playing, I'd have the Bulls winning the series.
I like it, but
I just kid, man. I smell real good.
I'll give the Bulls a game. I'll give the Bulls a game, but
yeah, we got the same.
Milwaukee wins in 5.
DeMar's gonna have one of those 40-point games.
Yeah, they'll have
25 free throws.
Levine goes 7 for 10 from 3.
What's up with Levine?
Nothing much.
Has he been slumping?
Kinda.
I think he's just who he is. Honestly, I don't think he's that good.
No, I mean
he's a scorer.
He's a good player.
He's a scorer.
I just in a series in a 7-game series, he's gonna have one of those games.
Yeah, I think him and DeRozan could potentially.
And they can at least win a game, if not 2. Like I think 6 games is probably the betting amount, but I'll give them 5. I think they only get 1. Milwaukee's too dang good. Okay, man, the last matchup in the Eastern Conference, the number 2 seed Boston Celtics are up against who? The Brooklyn Nets, 7th seed, baby. Matchup of the playoffs.
This is going to be a great matchup.
God, man.
One of the hottest teams in the NBA.
The hottest team.
The best defensive team in the NBA. Will Robert Williams be back? Will Ben Simmons be playing? A whole bunch of questions. A lot of things could percolate from now until then.
Kyrie Irving versus Boston.
Oh, by golly.
Don't forget, man.
Come on, man. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of bad blood.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Man, that would be... Man, I'd be tuning into every one of them for...
And Brooklyn beat them last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think it was switched. I think Brooklyn was the 1 seed. And
Boston was 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Isn't that funny?
Or 2 and 7, something like that, yeah.
Something like that. 1 was the higher, like Brooklyn was the higher seed.
Yes.
But this is a whole different animal this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know where to start, man. I don't know how this... I'll say it's going 7, but
Really?
who's gonna win? I don't know.
Who's the safest bet?
Okay, let's do some hypotheticals.
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay, Robert Williams is playing.
Okay.
Ben Simmons is not. Who's winning the series?
Ben Simmons doesn't play a game.
Robert Williams is playing the whole series.
I'd take the Celtics.
In what?
6 games.
Robert Williams is not playing. Ben Simmons is playing.
Brooklyn in 7.
Both are playing.
Boston in 7.
So you have Boston?
I'm going to take Boston, dude. They're the safest bet. I know Brooklyn has the 3rd best odds to get to the championship. I just haven't seen it. They haven't been fully consistent. I mean, now that KD and Kyrie are back healthy playing, it changes everything. So it's kind of hard to say. But I think they can take it to a 7. I just think the Celtics, the way they've been clicking, chemistry, they have the better role players outside of their star players with Brown and Tatum. And they're just better defensively. They got the role players that can step up more often than the Nets. And then Tatum, if Tatum can match KD, which is definitely possible with the way he's been playing, I think this is a series that they can win, and they should be favored. And I just like the fact that KD and Kyrie are very offensive-minded, but with the tandem of Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Tatum's the offensive guy, he can score, get buckets, whatever, and then Jaylen Brown is like the two-way guy. He can, D up just about anybody in the league, but he can also apply some scoring. So I like how their tandem applies to both sides of the ball, and they're just a better team, better coach.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. They're a better overall team. I'm gonna go with Brooklyn in 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ben Simmons is back.
You think he plays?
I think he plays.
Does he have an impact?
Let me tell you something. Ben Simmons, I don't even care about rust. I say you throw him right into the Wolves because he doesn't need to score. He doesn't need to get off this rust. He needs to play defense a little bit. He needs to be running up and down the court. He needs to be there to facilitate, have some screens, picks for the guys that are going to be doing the majority of the scoring. He just needs to be on the court to make an impact, I think. I don't even think he just needs to be in shape. I don't think, he doesn't need to do all that much to have a huge impact on this series. I think defensively, his vision, rebounding, just being on the court will make a huge difference for the Nets. That's how, I think it would go if he played.
Yeah, I agree. He's impactful in ways other than scoring and having the ball in his hands. But it's just hard for me to see him not being rusty. Even just playing in the game. And, it doesn't take, you're not rusty, rebounding and defending. Those are always things you'll take with you. And he's a much better player than whoever they're bringing off the bench,
exactly.
Blake Griffin or whatever. But I don't know. I just think to be comfortable, to have the chemistry, you have to be playing. You had to have been playing with your teammates to understand, to get the chemistry. So I'm just worried about him coming back this series, the first time ever playing with this team in a playoff series, and it's just not going to click. To me, it's not going to instantly click because you do have to gain chemistry. He is going to be rusty just because he hasn't played ball in over a year. And so I don't know. It's just I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
you make good points. I'm just saying, he's gonna make he's gonna make a positive impact just being on the floor.
Yeah.
He'll guard Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum.
Right. Yeah.
That gives one of your, KD can get a rest.
Right. Yeah. I definitely see that. He definitely impacts.
It doesn't matter. You just throw him on the court. I don't care if he's out of shape. You put him on the court. That's what I'm thinking. He's 6'10". Smart player.
I agree, but you don't think chemistry would be an issue? Because the Celtics are clicking. Their chemistry is on fire. And then to just throw in a guy, he's very impactful. He's going to impact the game, but just the chemistry offensively is what I just don't really know what to expect. I guess because we just haven't seen it.
The chemistry would be my biggest concern, but like I said, like you said, it's better than anything they got coming off the bench.
Yeah, okay. I'm very intrigued if Ben Simmons plays. This is a must-watch series.
Oh man, I'm praying and hoping that he plays.
And that
we see someone come back, Kawhi, Zion, or Ben Simmons. I want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Just for that series to go to a Game 7 would just be absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And then So if Brooklyn wins, who do they play?
I think they'll play Milwaukee.
Oh, man.
Because Boston's number 2. Brooklyn would play Milwaukee, and then you had the Raptors. They would play the Heat.
I want to see 76ers versus the Nets.
Okay.
In a perfect world.
Really?
Ben Simmons.
Harden.
Back in Philly. Harden back in Brooklyn.
Maybe that's what they've been planning out, man. It's the long game.
Yeah, so, if I'm being honest, man, the 76ers are probably going to beat the Raptors, but I'm picking the Raptors.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm throwing it out there in the world.
You got to have one upset, man.
Come on, man. I'm tired of going chalk.
Yours was the Raptors, mine was the Timberwolves. And that's fine, man, because that's playoff basketball.
Yeah, and you guys out there, the audience, enjoy, soak this all in. We've been waiting a long time. Great matchups, good basketball. The league's as talented as it's ever been. Just enjoy it, and, I think we'll be back here for the second round talks and matchups. Maybe go over what happened in the first round.
Yes, we will. But before we kick it out, what's the best playoff basketball atmosphere in the league?
Like as far as home court advantage?
Right, just home court. Who has the best home court advantage? The best fans, the loudest arena, just the craziest atmosphere.
Man, I would say the Grizzlies.
Really?
Grizzlies are up there.
Utah, for sure.
Utah.
I
mean, Boston's always good.
Yeah.
Toronto.
Toronto. Jurassic Park. I wanted to mention OKC's from years past. That was always like a crazy playoff atmosphere. And
that place was
the best.
That place was rocking even when they played in a roller rink.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can understand why. Actually, I can't. Are they on meth?
Who?
And OKC fans?
Probably, man. They're probably just coming straight from the bowling alley.
Probably coming straight from the farmhouse. And straight from the... I mean, they're probably tweaking out there.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking today, like, home court advantage. And that was the first thing that came to mind because I just remember how crazy that was. Like,
That's what I disliked about the Rockets.
Why?
Our crowd's kind of lame when it comes to playoff basketball.
Really?
Yeah, like when we're down, we give up and we're quiet the whole game. There's no fight in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because we've been like, we're kind of like, I feel like we're like spoiled or hoity-toity or I don't know what. I don't like the vibe at all. I need to get into that crowd.
What, the Rockets crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure. I definitely...
You know how you have that one super fan that everyone like knows?
Yeah.
Like a guy that wears a barrel with nothing underneath or something?
Uh-huh.
Or a guy that like beats his belly or...
Right. Paints his body.
I want to be the super fan.
You could, man. You got to arrange it, man. You got to be that guy.
I stand on my hands the whole game.
Yeah, you could wear a diaper.
I feel like people would feel my energy.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm dancing on my hands.
Golly, man. Yeah, I don't know.
And on my diaper, it's like a Rockets diaper.
In Houston, they just probably, get up, man.
And like, I start the let's go rock, and I'm jumping from my hands, like getting really animated and dancing.
Yeah,
but all from my hands.
Yeah, and they just always show you on the...
Or me and you are like, you're wheelbarrowing me around, like the different sections.
Yeah.
And because I'll get tired, so you'll switch off and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just be that guy they always show on the Jumbotron and just get everyone amped up.
Yeah, I'll be the diaper guy, and we'll just paint you all red.
Why am I all red?
I don't know. One of those suits that's all red. Like the stretchy ones.
I do that, yeah. Because no one would know. You could just do whatever you want. I'd be weird probably, man. Honestly.
That's what we need. That's what Houston needs.
Yeah, they need a superhero. But I did know there's a one Rockets group, like diehard fans, that recently they actually traveled someone out from Argentina and went to his first Rockets game and like met Rafael Stone. And apparently he's an international fan. He loves the Rockets. And they flew him down there. First time in Houston, first Houston game. That was when Jalen dropped his first 40-point game. And they had like a whole group picture of like all the diehard Rocket fan on Twitter. You got a picture with Rafael Stone. And
I feel like the Rockets have a good international fan base.
Yeah, they do.
Because we've had Yao Ming, Luis Scola, Bob Sura, Von Wafer.
Yeah.
We stretch the globe.
It's true, man. Yeah, we got a lot of
Muchi Norris.
Alperen Şengün.
Alpi. Papa Nicolau.
Yeah. Donatas Motiejunas.
We've had everyone from, all
Usman
colors
Garuba.
and creeds. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very international, man. We're probably the most international. Jeremy Lin.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, dude. We're all over the... Zhao Ji. Shoot, we could go on forever, man.
Yeah, we're a melting pot.
Shout out to the Rockets, man, for exploring. Goran Dragic.
Shout out to the Rockets for a good season and being fun again. Making basketball fun again.
Yeah, they make me sleep very comfortably at night. We got Jalen Green, man. That's the end of the story.
Thank you. All right, we'll be doing the checking back in for the round 2 predictions, and we're gonna review round 1. Hopefully, it's incredible, and we just have so many stories to tell. But that's another episode of Forget What You Heard. We love you guys. Thanks for the support as always. Peace, love, and happiness.
Ashley's.
Moochie.